Hello friends and family, welcome to another episode of Rap Reviews, where we don't really review anything, we more annotate, but then we give it a score at the end. You probably already know that, maybe you don't.
This is your first time listening, you should go back to the very start and listen to all of our episodes.
Exactly, and then...
You're cheating yourself by
if you're really
listening
to this one, you can listen. It's fine.
No, don't give them that option, Chris.
No, maybe let them listen to this episode,
mandatory.
and then they can go back.
Just like wearing a face mask back in the good old days of Corona, this is mandatory. Go back, episode 1, season 1.
What do we say about dating the show in 3 years' time? They're not going to remember the masks. Anyway, I'm with my two friends, Christopher Cross.
Hey guys, how's it going?
And another friend, Kieran Henry.
Hello.
And we are doing the first New Zealand rapper that we've ever done on Rap Reviews. Haven't even done an Australian yet.
I don't think we've even done an Australian rapper.
We're jumping the pond and going straight to New Zealand.
Malo Lawani Luafutu is his real name. I don't think I pronounced that correctly at all.
How well do you reckon you got that pronunciation?
I think you got
63%.
I think you got parts of it right. Parts of it felt right.
Also known by his stage name as Scribe.
Can I ask something before we kick off?
Yeah.
Because I was going to do a bit of reading, but I thought I'd just go in a bit blind today.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm going a bit blind as well, to be honest.
Is it true that is he a crackhead? Is it true that he's a crackhead these days?
I know he's had legal problems, but I have no idea what they were, to be honest.
When I Googled him today, the first image that showed up was him in like a witness stand. So that's kind of the impression I've got of what Scribe gets
and
up to in his spare
that's
time.
literally what I based what I just set off with that same Google image. So I have no idea.
Just like every episode of Rat Reviews, well fucking checked.
Very well researched.
I mean, I'm seeing personal struggles and addictions. I'm reading about Scribe right now. He was in prison for 2 months for breaching his curfew. Oh, okay.
Yeah, curfew, that's a bit harsh.
He was later during court on 13th of December for methamphetamine possession and breach of protection.
Ah, that's my boy.
So he is a bit of a crackhead. Fucking smoke that pip, boy.
But we're doing his hit song from his debut album, The Crusader, and the song is called Not Many.
Which is famously used by the NBA, wasn't it, for many years?
Was it?
Oh. I just remember that ad. That's how,
I thought maybe it was used for the Australian market, Australian-New Zealand market, but maybe over in the US they used like a different track.
It was a huge track back in the day.
I feel like it even made it to
success.
I think it even made it to America, like that track.
I think so, yeah. A lot of the data I've been reading about has been Australia or New Zealand based, but yeah, maybe it made its way to the US. Hey, to our overseas listeners.
We got a couple.
Yeah.
Yeah, hit us up if you've ever listened or heard of Scribe, and if you vibe with this absolute
anyone
jam
from
that
overseas,
he released back in. When did this come out? I'm going to guess around 2003 or 4.
I said 2002.
I'm pretty sure the album came out in 2003, so that would make sense.
Single possibly 2000.
2003, The Crusader came out, so yeah. In 2003.
Right on the money.
Nice.
You remember
I remember.
Is that because you're linking it to something?
Yeah, I was in about
year
year 6 at the time. So that's how I generally remember the 2000s, based on what year I was in, what teacher I had, what shenanigans I used to get up to.
Well, what teacher did you have during Scribe?
It was Mrs. O'Connor, who was a bitch.
Oh, she was a bitch, man. I had her as well. She's an awful lady.
No good.
Actually, not that bad outside of work, but in her classroom.
Outside of work.
Well, yeah, when she was teaching you, fuck. She made me, like, did you ever have the whole problem with her with, like, if you wanted to go to the toilet, she'd tell you to hold it?
Yeah.
And you'd be like, she'd tell you about how your bowels work and your bladder and how much, like, time you have. It's
Which
like,
kind of sounds
you
like
got, like, 3 hours before you piss your pants, essentially. And you're like, lady, just let me go.
Yeah, come on. Surely this is against, like, the UN's charter on, like, human rights here, preventing me, a fucking school child, from going to the toilet. Anyway, yeah, she sucked.
We're not doing a review on Mrs. O'Connor's fucking teaching.
That'll be next week's episode. All right, so we'll start it off with the intro. You know what? I think it's better if I just read out the whole intro. I think as a package, it has more weight. So, yeah, ain't no one like me. Yeah. Congratulations, you made it. Welcome to the Crusader. It's been a long time coming, yo. I'm here now. So what you gonna do? Or what you want to do, sorry. How many dudes you really know can flow like this, like this, like this? Let's do it, huh?
Okay, so to surmise that, I think he's been in the struggle in the rap game for a long time.
Yeah.
He's finally made it to his debut
It's
album.
sort of introducing his album as well.
There's an
Welcome to
introduction
the Crusader.
to himself.
Is this the first track of the album?
Oh man, you're really testing me.
These are all things we should have known.
I mean, it's only like basic knowledge.
It was surely his first single.
Well, I'm going to bring it up now.
At least the only single of Scribe I've ever heard.
Yeah, it's actually the first track.
Oh, there you go. Like, they knew it was a hit. They wanted to get those record sales up.
Yeah.
So you sell the record, you listen to one song, and then you're like, fuck, I don't know if I'm going to listen to the rest of this.
To be honest, that was kind of like buying CDs in the 2000s for me, though, sometimes. Like, you'd buy it for like 2 tracks or 1 track.
But then it was clever if they kind of put the best track on, like, I don't know, the 4th or 5th slot. So
Yeah.
you'd actually then feel like obliged to be like, all right, I've got an album, I paid a lot of money for it. Because Sanity, they used to charge fucking...
But sometimes I think like big songs like this, they bring you into the album. But then as you listen to it,
Yeah.
you
Sort
start
of
to
like a
appreciate
concept,
the other
yeah,
ones. And
the
then,
whole
you know,
album's meant to be like a concept of its own.
Yeah, exactly. And then like you eventually like, oh, this song is actually super mainstream and shit. You know, like if you're, you know what I mean?
If you're a mad Scribe
Like,
fan.
if you're a mad fucking Scribe fan, I'm sure they're like those guys out there are
Yeah.
bummed that we're doing this track. They're like, you should have done track 4.
But it is such a good track.
It is. It bangs. Yeah. It slaps.
I mean, I won't
whatever the kids say
make a
these days.
judgment on the lyrics yet, but I think as a whole thing, the track is amazing.
Oh, yeah, it's
great.
such a bop.
Yeah.
Yeah. It amps you the fuck up.
Like this, like this.
At my friend's wedding, like everyone on the dance floor was just like, "Oh yeah, you know, this is all right." And then this song came on, everyone fucking lost their shit, dude. Like the uncle was like taking his shirt off and stuff. Like people were fucking dropping the dacks and stuff. It was great.
Yeah.
It was great.
The power that Scribe has over people.
Yeah. And you know what? He just goes straight into the chorus. There's not even. It goes intro chorus.
Yeah, love it.
Man, he's just throwing. He's just.
He doesn't believe in much foreplay.
No,
He
not
knew
at
as
all.
soon as he came up with that chorus, he's like, I have to put this in as
Yeah.
much of it as possible. You know,
This guy's he's just knocking it out of the park, just like Mark Hunt. You know, shout out to Mark Hunt, UFC, Super Samoan.
also Samoan. Yeah.
Also Samoan. Yeah.
He's fighting Paul Gallen soon, which is insane. Did you hear about that?
No, I thought he
He's
was
in a
completely
boxing
retired.
match.
Oh.
He's fighting Paul Gallen.
Oh, great. Okay, well,
Insane.
like I said, shout out to Mark Hunt.
Shout out to Mark.
If you don't know who that is, watch some of his videos. Great highlights.
Yeah, I don't know who that is, so I'm just smiling and nodding.
He's one of the
which no
first
will be able to see.
Australians to really make it in the UFC. Well,
Oh,
like
he's Australian.
and mixed martial arts, I guess, in general.
Yeah, yeah. He was the king of walk-offs, which means he used to like knock people out. And I don't know if you've seen much UFC, Kieran, but
No.
when they knock people out, they usually get on top and just keep punching.
Yeah,
until,
sometimes to the point where you're like, you don't need to do that.
yeah, until
but
the ref stops it. But
He's already dead.
exactly.
But Mark Hunt would just knock people out and then just walk away and just
Yeah.
let them sort of like...
Sean O'Malley's actually has got some pretty good walk offs as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What's
yeah.
it called? The
Until he
Malakoff?
broke his ankle.
The king of walk-offs. I think.
Walk off.
Yeah.
No, Malakoff was that the dude that
Malakoff.
Malakoff.
was Malakoff the person that Tupac was obsessed with? No.
Oh,
that
Machiavelli,
was
bro.
Machiavelli.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're getting off topic here.
He walked off as well, though. Like, didn't he disappear?
Yeah, he bounced. He was the
Yeah,
guy. He
he
invented the idea of faking your own death to avoid being assassinated.
Yeah.
Which is what he did. He went rogue for a couple of
And I
years.
feel like Scribe did a bit of a walk-off after this album because you don't hear much of them after it. So
I think going rogue for Scribe was smoking crack.
yeah.
and never being able to live up to the.
Hey, man.
They say
Different
with
strokes,
everything,
dude,
the
different
first thing you do, if it's really good, like if it's like a masterpiece or whatever, it's super hard to follow up. You know what I mean? Like a lot of directors and writers and
So
stuff.
do you think that pressure weighed on Scribe when
Fuck
he
yeah,
when
man!
he, when
First
he was hitting that
track of
pipe?
this album, and it was like the
just
hugest
blew up.
thing in like where you grow up, like
Yeah.
you know, Australia, New Zealand.
Was
and
this like the biggest track since How Bizarre? Remember that track How Bizarre?
I'm sure it's not the biggest track since that, but
I don't know much Kiwi like music, dude.
Oh,
but-
you're talking. Was that? a
I'd
Kiwi
say,
song?
Yeah.
I'd say it's one of the most popular rap tracks from the Anzac area in the 2010s, in the noughties, I
wasn't
guess.
How Bizarre late 90s? I think it was late 90s.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
That wasn't a rap track though.
Oh, there was a bit of rap in it. There was a bit of rap in it.
Okay, let's not get into the
What constitutes as a rap track? Even though I would like to exploit that to do other songs sometimes. You know,
Yeah.
bit of Chili Peppers or something.
All right, so we'll jump
Yeah,
into the
yeah.
chorus. How many dudes you know roll like this? How many dudes you know flow like this? Not many, if any. Not many, if any.
So he's talking about rolling, he's talking about flowing. So he's not only a great rapper in his flow, but he's also a great brawler in his rolling, is what I'm guessing. Unless rolling
I think
is
it's
like
just
another way
talking
of
about his
referring to.
rapping, I feel.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think like
Yeah.
rolling, just like cruising, living.
Yeah. just being.
He might be talking about rolling cunts, though. Very possible.
Quite
Yeah,
possible.
actually, yeah.
Especially given that he's from Christchurch, and Christchurch is a pretty rough town, which has had a very rough 2010s with the
Yeah.
earthquake and then the fucking terrorist attack.
Yeah.
Oh,
shout out
fuck, yeah, I
to
didn't even
Christ,
think
shout
about
out
it.
to
Yeah.
Christchurch.
Jeez,
I went there. I've terrible memory of Christchurch. I got my vape robbed out of my hand, but by some thugs on a bike. But yeah, they've been through some fucking shit.
Yeah.
How many thugs on a
Christchurchians.
bike?
There were like
They were teenagers.
3 or 4 of them. They look like teenagers. Yeah, I didn't think much of them. They were. I didn't think much of them because they were wearing helmets, and I was like,
Real
what
G's
thugs?
don't wear.
Yeah, real G's don't wear helmets. But anyway, next thing I know, they're like on the other side of the road. They've swooped back as I'm like mid conversation. My vape's in my right hand, and they just clean swiped it. I was kind of impressed, but also like, hey, wait a second, those motherfuckers stole my vape, and then started sprinting after them. But obviously, it was in
There's no
vain.
point.
I was
Yeah.
never going to catch them on foot as they were on a bike.
That would have also been pretty funny for them. Just you running down the street. Give me back my vape.
Like the whitest guy in New Zealand running after
I
this dude.
just bought that vape as well. Like it was $100 vape. I was ready to chase that down to the ends of the earth. And, you know, it wasn't just the price tag, which is a lot for me. If
Yeah.
anyone
It's the
knows me.
sentimental value.
That's
It's-
fair
and it's also the principle. But anyway, getting back to Scribe, he's putting himself out there as being incredibly rare. No one
Yeah.
can really match his steez. You could describe him, I don't know, maybe as the Mewtwo of the rap game.
The what? The Mewtwo?
The Mewtwo.
Yeah, you
or
threw
like
in a bit of a
or like
Pokemon reference.
shiny holographic Charizard card.
Charizard. He's doubling down on the Pokemon references.
Or maybe you could describe him even as the
What other-
rarest metal on the earth, rhodium.
Ooh, it's rhodium.
Yeah,
Okay.
a noble metal.
Okay.
In there.
The noblest of metals.
Yeah.
So the second part of the chorus is how many dudes you know got the skills to go and rock a show like this? I don't know anybody
He doesn't know any other dudes
who's as good as him.
that can rock a show like him.
Yeah.
Who could rock?
Is
a
that people he
wedding like him?
personally knows, or people that like he's heard about in general? I'm just wondering because it's like if he's,
I don't know,
he
man.
might only
I
know
don't
other 2 other rappers, so that's fine. But like, if he's talking about every rap song, is every rapper he's ever heard, then it's a pretty
But
big.
you need some confidence.
That's a
right?
huge call. I'm just saying.
It is a huge call, but you know what? It's a great track.
Yeah.
And,
They're a bit
I don't mind
isolated
it.
over in New Zealand. I don't know. Maybe shit.
dude,
doesn't
they've got
get to
the
them as-
internet. Man. They've got like CDs. and
After
stuff like-
2011, after the earthquake, I don't know if the infrastructure's there anymore.
I'm pretty sure that's actually where they tested out a lot of the internet. My brother-in-law is a New Zealander, and apparently that's where they try a lot of tech out in New Zealand because it's such a small area that you can really like in population that you can really work out the
Yeah,
kinks.
right.
Yeah,
Okay.
how's that?
Testing grounds.
So they got like fiber optic before us, the fuckers.
Yeah, they probably still got faster internet than
Yeah.
us, stupid fucking NBN. Anyway,
Pretty
that's
sure
probably for another
our
time.
friends over in Algeria have faster internet than we do. So, shout
if
out
you
to our
listen-
fans in Algeria.
If you're listening to this from outside of Australia, we've got woeful internet.
we do.
Maybe because of just the sheer size of our landmass, but also government incompetence.
Yeah, it's a lot of that. There's a lot of that involved.
I've got a whole theory, involves Rupert Murdoch. But anyway, we'll move on. So he then goes into a verse 1, which is check to the mic, check. A 1-2 from a crew coming through. Are you hype yet?
Okay, so he's
Putting out the feelers, seeing if everyone's like G'd for the track.
which is pretty like fair asking that question during this part of the song because at this point I think you are pretty like after that chorus you are a bit
You're
like,
hooked.
you're a bit
You're ready to go.
Yeah.
So he's like, you guys all good? You guys all good? You
Yeah.
still hype?
Yeah.
Don't worry, I'm gonna do it 3-4 more times.
He doesn't sound as confident, does he? Because at first he was like, I'm the best. Now he's like, but are you guys still listening? Or what's going on? Like,
He's humbled, you know.
Yeah, he's humble.
When you're having sex, you're like, you alright? You alright, babe? You good?
I'm the best, but you're right. It kind of sounds like Donald Trump. Actually, no, Donald Trump would just be full out and just no bars held in terms of his confidence. But I'm the best there's ever been.
So the next part is nowadays everybody want to talk like they got something on Scribe. They ain't got nothing when I'm up and alive and can't front when you're feeling the vibe.
Can't front when you're feeling the vibe. Is that people? Nah, you're gonna have to repeat that, Chris. Sorry.
That's right. Nowadays everybody want to talk like they got something on Scribe. So I think that first part is like, people are going to talk shit like like they know me, but they have no idea.
Back in the days before keyboard warriors.
Correct, yeah. And then
He
he's
would
like,
mail into him being like, Scribe, you suck.
Dude, there was the internet in 2003. It was just limited.
All right, on AOL.
On MySpace Music. Fucking you suck.
and then he's like, they ain't got nothing when I'm up and alive and can't front when you're feeling the vibe. So I think it's saying like when I'm like at my best, they can't do anything about it. Like when people are feeling the vibe and digging my raps and digging my music, like
Yeah.
you can't talk
He's
shit.
knocking them down. He's got all the ammo in his arsenal.
Yeah.
She's just like, fuck the haters, essentially.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Is there a Genius annotation for this song? I was just wondering.
Like there's a bit.
Oh,
There's a
cool.
bit.
So it's on there, though.
It's on there,
Cool.
but it doesn't really say too much.
Yeah,
to be
cool.
honest. Yeah. Like there's a, anyway, I'll get to it and I'll say what the Genius thing says, which is just like, yeah, no shit. But anyway. You know, Scribe is taking you high. Love it with the double bass. Vibrate, shook the plates in your vertebrae.
Ooh. It sounds cool as fuck.
Yeah, so the vibrations coming off the double bass. I'm not sure if he's actually employing a double bassist to be writing some of the bops for his music, but apparently that's producing such a frequency that is rattling those little vertebrae that we have in our back, which people often refer to as discs.
I think it's just a cool line as well.
It does sound cool,
just
for
sounds
sure.
cool,
Yeah.
yeah.
And it's like, I guess, like it's making you move is another way.
Yeah.
Like it's, you know,
Yeah, the music
because
is
your,
but also
your
maybe-
vertebrae is attached to every other, like it's attached to everything, right? So it makes you kind of move.
Yeah, true. Also maybe trying to suggest that people are getting like chills through their spine for like how good his music is.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
that's a good pickup.
I don't know. Sometimes when I listen to music, I definitely get goosebumps.
No,
Maybe
for
maybe
sure.
not when I listen to Scribe.
For
But
sure. Even like if you listen to a song that reminds you when you're younger days or a
Yeah.
nice
Huge.
moment in your
Or
life,
something,
you know,
yeah.
like
huge nostalgic attachment to music.
Yeah.
yeah, for sure. Have you ever heard like, you know, like people with Alzheimer's, they play the music and like, you know, be like I don't know if I've talked about this on the show before, but like, you know, like a song from the 50s, you know, like, you know, and he'd be like, oh, I remember this song. I took Mary Jane to the dance. And yeah, he would like get all these memories back that he hasn't been able to access before.
That's
And it's
nuts.
from listening to the song.
Sick.
So it's like,
because music and what's
sound
it called?
and,
Like, the sound is there's a part of the brain that's
yeah, like
attached to
senses
that.
help like, yeah, like activate parts of your brain, like memory. So like smell, I think, is the most effective, and then sound is second.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Which part of the brain does anyone know? Do we have any cortexes in mind?
Ooh, I know it's not frontal. I don't think.
Hippocampus, cerebral.
I don't know, man. You're really testing my brain knowledge. I don't know,
Let's see what you
dude.
did there. I'm gonna say cerebral.
All right, none of us are fucking neuroscientists, so we should probably move on.
If you are a neuroscientist, please email us and tell us what the answer is.
Yeah, send us some peer-reviewed articles for us to research next time.
I want medical journals only. Otherwise, go fuck yourself.
The next lines are, yo, hit a man, move like a RS, Subaru with a crew, come equipped like a body.
I never knew that line was in there. I love it.
I also just fucking adore how humble that is. He's not like every other fucking rapper who's like, I've got my Benz, I've got my Porsche, I've got my BMW. He's like, I've got my super fucking Roo. This thing will get 300,000 Ks before it starts having troubles.
I said move like a RS. I think I looked this up. I don't remember now, and it doesn't let me click on it now. But RS is like a reference to like a fast car or
WRX, maybe?
no,
but
RS.
he says, yeah, because a WRX is a Subaru, right? Which
Yeah.
is like the real popular like kind
Either
of tuner
RS
car.
is a type of Subaru or RS is just like a way of saying like a fast car, but I don't know exactly.
Fair enough, Barge. Or did you guys remember that time where everyone was driving around Subarus, like souped up Subarus? I feel like people don't do that anymore. Maybe.
Not as
I
much
still
any
see
day.
it. I still see
See it?
it. I still see a Rex around.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're in there.
Rexing around.
Yeah, Rexing around.
They make good cars, Subaru.
Man, I used to
They
want a
were-
Subaru when I was younger.
They were like used pretty heavily in the rally car sport.
Yeah.
That and sport. That and Peugeots. Peugeots, I think, are pretty
Peugeot,
big rally
yeah.
cars.
Yeah. Those French beasts. And then, I think we got that one sorted.
So him and his boys are just cruising
they're
around.
just cruising
in
around,
the
but he's
room.
quick, you know?
Yeah.
Quick.
He's got a Rex on him.
Subaru with a crew. It's like, I'm the fucking Subaru. And my
Do you reckon he
boy-
chose Subaru just because it rhymes with crew?
I think so.
I really hope, for the sake of the song, that he owns a Subaru.
Shout out to Subaru.
Yeah, fine manufacturer, Japanese, I think.
Is
Yeah.
this episode
Yeah,
possibly sponsored by Subaru?
It should be. Ooh.
So the next bit is lyrically Bob Burnquist. So 1 foot is in the style through his tongue like a stale fish.
Who was Bob Burnquist?
He's a skateboarder, a professional skateboarder, and a really good one.
Yeah, he sounds familiar, like that classic era of. Well, when I say classic era, I mean when I was growing up and skating.
You mean Tony Hawk's 2 classic era?
Yeah, like the Rodney Mullins and Bam Majeras and whatnot.
Bam Majeras. Was Bam Majera even a good skater?
Yeah, he was. He
Yeah.
was a pretty good
No, he's
vert
good
skater for sure, and a bit of straight.
But
He
he
was. He
wasn't
was
like-
he
it
was
was
never
Jackass that
amazing.
made him big,
Yeah, he was no like Ryan Sheckler
Yeah.
or fucking
Yeah.
those guys.
He was just a good prankster as well. So,
Yeah.
he was able to.
But he was a pretty competent skater.
But yeah, he's pretty much saying his lyrics are as good as Bob Burnquist's skills on the skateboard.
So great flow, like you'd have
great
on a
flow, yeah.
skateboard.
Which is important. Like flow and style, and when you're watching skate videos, is really important. Like, yeah, I guess skaters will get picked up and get sponsored like entirely off their style, and
Yeah, because if you're doing the same thing as someone else, like
yeah,
what's the
it's like
point
Rodney
of
Mullen,
sponsoring
right?
you?
Rodney Mullen became huge because his style was so completely different to everyone
So
else.
unique.
Yeah,
It was like fucking.
like he'd literally
synchronized-
create tricks and stuff like that. You
It
know?
was like synchronized skating on the skate rink.
Yeah,
It was beautiful.
It is awesome to watch. Like, yeah,
I know we give so many shout outs in the show.
He still can tear it
shout out
up.
to Rodney. He can.
Shout out to 55-year-old Rodney Mullen.
Keep doing what you're doing, man. You're inspiring a generation.
You know who else was a really good skater? Was Tom Green, the comedian.
Yeah, he was. Yeah,
Yeah.
He was a really good skater. Same with talking celebrities, but actors is Jason Lee was also
Jason Lee was a really
was
good.
also
as
a
well,
good
yeah.
skater. Yeah, they
Good.
both started off I think as pros, didn't they? And then they moved into other stuff. I think. Well,
I'm
I know
not
Jason.
sure about Jason Lee.
I think
but-
Jason Lee was like he was on the way to that, but then he's like kind of I guess he realized that like he couldn't skate forever, and he started moving into acting.
Yeah, it makes sense.
So like when he got mall rats and shit, he was still a professional skateboarder.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fun fact.
Not bad. The next section is I'm not even sure if I'm saying this like, lyrically the way it's meant to be put together. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
That didn't even make sense, but I think you get what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I
But
feel
anyway,
yeah.
This kid named X from the Vic want to get with the Scribe in live like a 05. I got vibe like a beehive.
Oh.
Vibe like a beehive, I guess that's like talking about the vibrations that the little worker bees would make. It's I'm just going.
Fuck,
You know
dude.
how I always go for a very literal
Yeah, you do,
interpretation.
man.
You do.
You do.
So that's,
Keep it simple, dude.
that's what I'm guessing.
I don't know. This little guy X, he's not talking about Exhibit or DMX, right?
Maybe Scribe had
Because those guys both refer to themselves as X.
Can-
X
maybe-
won't give it to
maybe
you.
Scribe had like time traveling prowess. He had like either cracked the code to time travel or just knew how to get ahead of time and was like, Lil Nas X, gonna be huge.
Ooh. A song we can.
Anyway, that's a hot take.
a song that we've
I like
done,
the
but we
theory.
can't
I like
release.
it. I like it.
But yeah,
I
good
got a
on-
vibe like a beehive. I don't know, but that could be like, I bring people together. You know what I mean?
Ooh. Not
They,
bad.
they come from my honey, dude. You know what I
he's,
mean?
he's the queen
They're all-
and all
yeah.
the workers around him.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
you guys are getting pretty good at this.
That's what I'm feeling anyway.
But also buzzing like a beehive.
He's creating a buzz.
Yeah,
That as well,
which is
yeah.
like
That's exactly what I was just saying.
That
I got
is-
fucking called out for being too literal.
I think if you listen to the
Well, I called
recording, you
myself
did
out.
not say that, Kieran. I believe Ray just said it. But
Remember-
that's okay.
remember who's
We'll move
editing
on.
these episodes.
And when the muzzle from the squid of a pimp by the seaside and get down on the wave that we ride.
Jesus.
Muscle from the squid of a pimp by the seaside.
Oh, wait, I got a little shot of this. New Zealand's known for their seafood, right?
Sure.
No, they are.
Are they? Oh, okay.
Yeah, fuck yeah. And mussels, green mussels, famous New Zealand export.
He doesn't say muscle though. He says when the muzzle
Oh.
from the
Muzzle.
squid.
As in
Sorry.
like muzzle tough?
No, like muzzle,
Muzzle.
like you muzzle a dog.
Ah.
When the muzzle from the squid of a pimp by the seaside and get down on the wave that we ride.
Muzzle from the squid of a pimp.
Is a squid like? Is there some sort of like street lingo to that? Because I feel
I
like
don't
you're
know, man.
muzzling
There
a
was nothing on
squid. Is that like
Genius
a
that I
something
could-
maybe, or a lady that or gentleman or
When the
who likes
muzzle
to,
from
to
the
sex
squid-
for money? Is
Look,
that like I don't
Anyone
know.
out there who might know this, please send.
Because you're
send it
muzzling.
through.
I don't know why you'd have to muzzle a prostitute, but you might have to.
I
I feel like you're way off.
A
man.
muzzle of a squid in the, what was it?
Pimp.
A pimp.
Squid of a pimp by the seaside.
Squid of a pimp. No.
Dude, I gotta say, that's one of the hardest lines we've ever had to annotate.
Yeah.
I wouldn't generally I get like an idea.
I don't think
even
there was
if-
anything on Genius that I could find.
I think there must be some hefty New Zealand slang in there which we're just not picking up on.
Man, if anyone out there from New Zealand knows what the hell this
we do have some
about,
listeners. People have tuned in before, so
Yeah.
maybe they'll get back to
please
us.
email us or
This is probably the
message
biggest,
us on the
the
gram.
biggest New Zealand listened episode so far. I'd say.
you reckon?
Oh, they're gonna say Scribe and just flip out. They're gonna be
Oh,
like,
boy.
That's true. That's true. Well, we might as well move on and get down on the wave that we ride. So I said that already, didn't I? Yeah. Around town on the down low. Never know what the flow. Pro chop chop. You can't stop hip hop because it don't stop. Check it out.
Check it out.
Check it out.
Check it out. So that's all I got from that line. Check it out.
Back to before. I think he's just saying that he's like really cool and he's a pimp.
You can't stop hip hop because it don't stop.
And also, the classic, you just don't call hip hop pop and it won't stop.
Cool.
Yeah,
That makes sense.
sure.
Q-Tip came up with it, don't call it pop.
If you're calling that, then stop.
Yeah, that's it. You got the reference.
And then you've got the chorus again, but it's repeated twice. And then we're going to verse 2.
He's doubling down on that tasty chorus.
On how much he is a Mewtwo of the rap game.
Exactly, 100%. So verse 2 starts with something for the ride on cruise control. When the bass vibrates, shake the vibe like an earthquake.
Oh, well, I guess, he grew up in Christchurch, so he's
He's used to the frequencies. Yeah.
Something for the ride on
Earthquakes.
cruise control. Like it's so easy for him. He's just on cruise control,
He's
Doing that
live?
as well.
Or just like rapping.
Maybe just rapping, like his skills in rapping, It's on cruise control. It doesn't even have to try that hard because he's so good.
But doesn't
at
it imply that he's not even thinking about it? He's not really trying. He's not putting any extra like effort into it.
that he's not like, in the struggle like a lot of other rappers.
But not even that, but like I
about.
feel like a lot of rappers often claim how hard they work and how much like effort they put into it to be where they are. Whereas he's like, I don't give a fuck.
But maybe that's kind of part of his appeal.
It's also probably why he started smoking crack and he's never brought out a new song since.
Because of that work ethic.
Yeah,
Because of that cruise control work ethic.
Yes. Should have been more time fucking working and less time cruising, bro.
In his little WRX. Oh, sorry, I'm assuming WRX. Maybe he's driving like a Forester or
His RS. Fuck, what is that car? I don't know. I don't know enough about cars.
We'll never know.
Yeah, look, I don't know, man. I think my interpretation is like the ride on cruise control, meaning he's so good at this is easy for him. And when the bass vibrates, shake the vibe like an earthquake. It's so good. It's like an earthquake is going off.
Yeah.
Because that's how powerful.
Him and the boys are cruising down the main strip in Christchurch, pumping Scribe music so loudly that everyone's like starting to get worried. They're like, "Oh my god, is this like another earthquake? What Richter is this? Should we be like covering? Should we be
Do they get frequent earthquakes in New Zealand? Like, is it like kind
it's
of
pretty
it's like
right
on a fault line?
They're right on the fault line.
So they're like California, where they just like it's just their life. You
They
just get to
cop
deal with
it,
it.
yeah.
And Japan.
yeah.
Fuck, man.
It's like such a different dynamic to like the world we live in, where we're like so safe in the middle of a tectonic plate.
Yeah, I went and saw this movie, Kajillionaire, the other day, and it's like, it's like, someone mentions that it's kind of like a running thing through the movies, like those earthquakes are just like kind of shake and everyone stops, and then they just go about their lives. But it's like, fuck, that would be weird to get used to, don't you think?
Yeah.
Just because like they're saying it in the movie, like one day is going to be the big one, because that theory that like the San Andreas fault line one day will have they had one like 120 years ago.
Or like a huge
Like it leveled San Francisco and shit. Like it fucked shit up, and it's like they're due for one. They're in the point now where they're kind of due for one. For over the next 100 years, they will definitely have one of the same magnitude as the one in San Francisco in like 19 or 1810 or something. 19. Yeah. Well, anyway, but the point is that's nuts, right? Like it's like tomorrow we could find out that an earthquake has killed millions of people in
San
California.
Francisco
That's crazy.
with such a huge population.
Same with like Christchurch, right? Like what happened? Yeah.
Well, I mean, Christchurch has a pretty small population and not very dense. So
But they would have
luckily,
like that day that it happened, like the big one.
yeah, it was like
yeah.
I completely speculating on numbers here, but it was definitely in the hundreds.
Of deaths, yeah, for sure. Yeah. And then like
It's
injured and then just like the fucking anxiety and the stress that would put you under, it'd be awful. Anyway, it's a huge fucking detour.
Sometimes trauma brings a community together, you know? It's something that it's a shared experience.
That's true.
Amidst chaos, there is always opportunity, boys.
Thanks, Chris.
Deep. Is that Nietzsche?
No, man, it's
It's
what
Christopher
was that
Cross.
Chinese general? What was his name? San Tzu or
Mao.
something?
San Tsung.
San Tzu.
San
Xi
Tzu.
Jinping.
For the art of war.
Art of War.
Yeah, you fucking
read it,
racist. You know, before China went evil, they were pretty cool guys.
Yeah, before they started like mass incarcerating
Yeah,
Uyghur people.
before they got a dictator in power, they were still had problems. But, like, you know what? Really wasn't their fault. The Mongolians fucked them over a lot. The Japanese, the Koreans. Like, I can understand why China's so mad at the world, because there's only so many times you get fucked before you're like, fuck these guys. I want to get my
man.
dude. The Japanese, like look at the rape of Zhejiang, I think it is like
Xi Jinping.
fuck, I don't. The rape of, I can't say the word, but the Japanese rolled up right before World War II, and they just fucked shit up. Like, they raped an entire village of like 500,000 people,
So we're going
and
to
like
pop a
cut
Mongolian
their
on
heads
them.
off, and just like for no reason other than the fact that they just hated the Chinese. Like, it's
Insane.
nuts. Anyway,
let's not go into Asian politics.
Naijing, the
Good
rape
thing
of
that
Naijing.
Australia and New Zealand are so like isolated geographically from the world that I don't think there's going to be any events like that happen to us, really.
What a boat full of Japanese people gonna pull
Coming
up.
off and raping entire villages. No, I don't think that's going to happen.
By the way, I think like Japan is past that now, though. Like that was when they were
Yeah,
an
I think
empire.
so, yeah.
like, they're like super chill now. They're like
Yeah.
Germany, like pretty chill guys.
Yeah. Germany really chilled out after World War II. I just
Look
gotta
at
put it
Italy.
out there.
Like Italy's tried to take over the world twice. They were in World War II. Everyone forgets. They switched sides, but they were on the bad guys' side.
Yeah.
You know, and the Roman Empire based out of Italy. You know,
Yeah.
but now they're super chill.
Yeah.
Like, they don't give a fuck. I think you gotta have a few cracks at it. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Have a few cracks. You know, you just wait till someone goes, no, that's not good. And then just don't
do it again and then have someone tell you, no, that's definitely not good. Impose crippling
Say sorry.
sanctions on you.
And just chill out.
Do you reckon we'll ever go for try to take over the world in like 100 years?
What, Australia take over the world?
We'd have to surely team up with New
Have
Zealand.
you ever played the game Risk? Australia's just not in a vital position.
Maybe Vanuatu we can take. Maybe, if we haven't already. I don't know. But that's about it.
I think we could take Bali, man. I could Denpasar,
I don't
bro.
know.
Is that part of
Indonesia's got a huge population.
You can't just take a piece of it. Like,
It's pretty much we've already taken it with them, man. A fucking Australian country.
anyways, next line. See, the state is not good for you. You made a great mistake. Your eyes stop and boom, be gone. I don't get it. I
Your
don't feel like
eyes
this.
stop?
Yeah, your eyes stop and boom, be gone.
maybe
You made a great mistake. I don't know. It's almost saying like, if you mess with me,
you're
things
gonna
are
die. I think
He's going to
talking
gouge
about-
your eyes out.
I think he's talking about the moments before you die, like that. I don't know why he'd say boop. I thought it'd be like bang or boop,
I don't know. Maybe there's like a
You
new
know.
thing. Boop.
and boop, you're dead.
And then he goes on to say, sick of this, flick the switch, nitrous kick, want a trip, there's some new shit.
Oh, do you reckon he's doing nangs, or is he talking about like nitrous oxide that is installed in his
In his Rex.
Rex?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I think
be.
he's like, maybe he's talking like, now I'm gonna go double time. Is that possibly what he's talking about? Like he's like,
Maybe.
maybe
Sick of
he's-
this, flick the switch. Like,
yeah, like fucking, I'm gonna jet out of here. Or I'm gonna jet into it or out of it. Who cares?
Maybe he's just doubling down on the nitrous. Not only is he like propelling his car by using nitrous oxide, but he's also doing a nang at the same time.
No, I think he's. I think the metaphor and the switch is all metaphorical. You know, I don't think there's an actual physical switch.
But he's turning on like the accelerator.
He's like
whatever
getting
that
himself
happens
G'd
to
up.
be.
I think,
Yeah.
yeah. I
Probably
think
crystal methamphetamine.
I think he's changing a switch inside himself.
Oh, sorry. It wasn't crystal methamphetamine that was specifically mentioned, just methamphetamine.
Just the average methamphetamine.
Yeah.
And then this next line, I forget whether this flows into this next line or whether this is part of the next lines, if that makes sense. But the next line is real deal like Cody Field.
Who the fuck is Cody?
Did you research Cody Field?
Yeah, he's a few Cody Fields actually came up.
Yeah, I did.
But one was a
you had
snowboarder, like a professional snowboarder.
Oh, I'm
So-
sure that's probably the one he was referencing.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like
But not a lot came up. It wasn't like the first
Heaps
Wikipedia
on
page.
LinkedIn.
There was one in LinkedIn. Yeah, there was someone in Parliament named Cody Field. Someone who owned a sports store named Cody Field. So
I think he's talking about the snowboarder.
yeah, I don't think it's a guy who owns the sports store, but I mean, you never know, man. He might have
He
a
might
bit
be
of
into his politics. You don't know.
What was the line? How does this relate to snowboarding?
a real deal like Cody Field. So he's saying he's
So
a
he
real
clearly
deal.
saw like lots of shining potential in this Cody Fields fella.
Yeah.
That was never able to.
So then it goes into there's no telling if you ride like Mike, you just might rock like a double drop tight.
Double dropping, referring to taking 2 pingers within consecutive.
Maybe
Like a
because then he
short
goes
time frame.
T Club, get it on, representing all night.
And also the Mike thing is a reference to be like Mike
Mike.
is.
Yeah.
Oh, I was thinking like Mike, like Michael Jordan.
That's what I was saying. You ride like Mike because he's put Mike as an M-I-K-E.
Right.
So I think it's more like he's again referring to himself as like
The greatest of all
The
time.
greatest.
Someone who has been referenced in the show before and will probably get referenced many times after is Michael Jordan, one of the greatest basketball players of all time.
Mm.
Also, maybe a mic drop though. But I think this is before the mic drop became a thing. You know, that's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
because then he goes
No,
take
no.
flight
Yeah.
like Nike kicks, the new tricks and make quick. So he says take flight like Nike quicks. That could be a reference to
Air Jordan.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely Michael Jordan.
I think we actually got that one, guys.
He then goes on to say when
Check
the
it
vibe when the vibe hit, don't sit, just get on down and profound with the sound that we found with the underground. Don't sit, just get on down and profound with the sound that we found with the underground.
I don't think he's using profound right there.
Maybe he's talking
I
about
guess,
his
like,
lyrics as being so profound that they speak to everybody in his community.
Get on down with the profound. That doesn't sound. I guess it's like, yeah, maybe get on down with this new, different vibe that you've never felt and heard before.
Well, profound just means like deeply insightful. So, I
But I
mean,
thought it was
he's-
always like profound is also like insightful, but it's like it's new in a sense. You know, it's like an original
Yeah.
idea.
And you
if
don't
something's
think,
like
you don't think the
profound-
Scribe is original.
No, I'm not. I'm not. I've called him a crackhead. I've made fun of his car, but I've never said that he's not profound.
How dare you?
That's where you cross the line, my
Yeah,
friend.
that's when, mate, you were fucking. No, but I'm just thinking like maybe. Well, I don't know. I don't know if like if what he's saying is that profound. That's all.
Yeah.
Have we not discussed a lot of these topics before on the show? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think it's
Over
that
and
profound,
over.
but you know what? It just works with sound and underground, you know. So I'm down
Absolutely.
for
He
it,
was
you know?
going through his thesaurus and being like, "Ooh, profound." That's a
Oh,
good
are we
word to
writing it
use."
off as just it sounded
It
cool?
just sounded
Yeah.
cool. I
Yeah,
feel.
okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Which I think we don't give enough credit to on this show. That rappers often probably are just finding a
No,
rhyming
we've said it
word.
before. Like, it's definitely sometimes I think, even since I've been doing this show, I think that there's no annotation to that. It's just like, you know, I'll
Yeah.
listen to music. I'm like, that just sounds cool. You know,
Yeah.
it's flashy, it's fun.
It is fun.
It's kind of part of the whole thing in rap, right? No.
And then he goes into the chorus again, and then we go to the outro. I don't know whether I should do the whole I mean, I might as well just do the whole outro.
You
All
might
in
as
one?
well- from start to finish, Chris. There's
Alright.
no in betweens.
So he goes, next time you come down to North Canterbury, it's all good.
North Canterbury.
It's all good. It's
all good in
You
my
come
neck
down
and
to my
hood.
hood and come to South Canterbury. It's all good. It's all good when you come down to my hood and come to East Canterbury. It's all good.
So
It's
Canterbury
all
is the
good.
region
Are we
that
breaking
Christchurch
up?
is in.
Are we
Go to
breaking
West
Yeah, we got to be
Canterbury.
very careful about breaking some copyright laws here.
Nah, man, it's all good. It's
But
me,
yeah, he's
dude.
giving a shit.
It's
He's giving
me.
a
You're
sh-
listening to me. You're not listening to Scribe.
Yeah, but they might be like, "Whoa, he's so good."
And dude, I don't respect the fact that you interrupted me during that.
Sorry.
I will put that out there.
Apologies.
It's okay. Like, it was the first time I was in the zone, and then you just had to come in
yeah,
and
fucking.
mess it
I
up.
came down on your vibe, didn't I?
And then he ends with, it's all good, yeah? It's all good up in the neck of the woods. So it's obviously referring to the different parts of Canterbury, which is a part of Christchurch, where he is from.
Bit of an outro, bit of a shout out.
Bit of a shout out to his people, you know?
I think everyone does that. Well, I think it's important to do that.
Yeah,
You know?
geography is hugely important.
It's
in
your
rap,
roots.
as we've
Yeah,
discovered.
exactly. It's where you came
Like
from.
East Point in Atlanta. The only reason I know East Point
It's
is
because of
our
fucking
cast.
yeah, exactly. It's like Long Beach, you know, Compton.
For Snoop Dogg or
Yeah.
you know, fucking
Compton's everywhere.
Queensbridge,
Queens
Mob
Boroughs.
Deep, and
Bed-Stuy,
Snarls.
Bedford-Stuy. When I was in New
Bed-Stuy,
York,
yeah.
I wouldn't have gone for Bedford-Stuy. Like, apparently it got rated one of the hippest suburbs in the I recently read, but like,
which you'll hear about by listening to a previous episode of Rap Reviews.
I think it was like ninth coolest suburb in the world. It got rated recently, but
I think I heard
Did you also see that Marrickville got rated? Was
Yeah,
this the Time Out article?
Yeah, you read the same.
Such a crock of shit.
got
Yeah,
rated
that was-
what? Coolest suburb.
Coolest suburb in
I
the
know,
world. It was
I
like the
thought
top
that-
50 coolest suburbs.
I
in
thought the
world.
Marrickville one was
What?
so dumb.
It was just like such a fucking wank towards Two Chaps. Like, don't get me wrong, I love Two Chaps. Their breakfast is amazing, but like, come on, there's a lot more in Marrickville that you're missing out on. And if I encourage any of our listeners, if you come to Sydney, go to Marrickville and check out the light industrial area. There's something for everyone.
I just think it's such a fucking spread out area where there's cool
Huge.
shit
It's
in it,
huge,
no
yeah.
doubt. But it's just like, I don't know, like at least like Bedford-Stuy is like something you can walk through in a couple of hours, and you can like.
Whereas who's going to spend their day walking through
Yeah,
Marrickville?
you're not going to trek
Yeah.
like in kilometers in diameter. It's quite a big area.
It's the biggest suburb in the inner west and probably one of the bigger in like
Yeah.
at least the Sydney city
and the,
region.
the public transport in the area is fucking
Awful.
cactus. So
Awful.
like, yeah. So it's like, who's gonna go there and be like, well, this is my start of Marrickville trip. Like, where do you go? It's like, like, where do you head? You got like so many fucking direct. Look at a lot
the
of
places,
breweries
the
and-
places they're referencing are also so far away from major train stations.
Yeah, exactly.
This is my major gripe. It's like you're telling tourists to come to Marrickville, yet how are they going to get there accessibly?
Exactly.
But I guess people that are reading Time Out have a bit of cash, so they'd be ordering Ubers and
They're
taxis.
white. They're super
Yeah,
white.
yeah.
Well, wasn't it Time Out that said that Perth was like a hipster's paradise or something? No, that was the New York Times. New York Times said that Perth City was.
Perth is the
hipsters,
hipsters, like North
Perth.
North Perth is like
They're
like
talking
except
about
for
Fremantle,
like I live in
Northbridge,
Newtown. We're recording out in Newtown right now. This area is rife with hipsters. But I think I think North Perth gives it a run for its money for sure.
Hmm.
I feel like North Perth maybe has a bit more grit than Newtown. Well, at least it's a little bit more independent than Newtown. Newtown has gotten super franchisey
Oh,
in
for
the
sure.
past
I think
decade.
also like the whole lockdown laws made it the only place where people can comfortably get buck wild drinking wise, you know.
So we get like
So there's like
infiltration of like
because
people
originally
from outside of the
this
inner
was a
west.
mainly like, well, you know the history, like how it was like fucking sketch as fuck, but then it was like mainly lesbians, and then kind of the gays and lesbians, and then the hipsters kind of came in.
I think
then
it's
all the
the
lesbians
lesbian
moved
capital
to
of the world. Isn't
Alice Springs. Alice Springs has like a huge lesbian population.
I heard that Newtown was like the lesbian capital of the world, pretty much. Like the amount of lesbians that are in Newtown. Makes sense.
Okay.
Lesbian per capita.
Yeah, man.
Probably.
Shout out to lesbians.
I don't know. I reckon Alice Springs.
Yeah,
would
fuck
give
yeah!
it a
Shout
run
out, like
for
I
money.
like living in this area because it's like everyone's like, I think everyone should feel safe or whatever, you know, like
Doesn't matter who you
I
are.
love
in
all the gay
Newtown,
flags
yeah.
that are on my street and shit. It's cool, like it's fun. I don't
You
like the
have-
hipsters
Don't you have one
because
out
they're
in front of your
fucking
house?
douchebags, but like, no, not all of them, but like, you know, some of them fucking suck. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Was that
Are
sorry?
you talking about lesbians or are you talking about hipsters?
Hipsters,
Oh,
hipsters, not
Yeah,
not
keep
lesbians.
with it, Karen. You're off tonight, dude.
I fucking hate lesbians. That is way more controversial to
Let's
say.
talk
than
about
it-
those.
than it
Let's
is, like,
talk about
you
those
can just-
gays, dude.
Like I have merits of hipsterism, but I just like, you know, it's easy to say fuck hipsters. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I collect vinyls. I slightly care about the environment.
Would you call yourself a hipster?
Fuck no,
You're
man. I
big,
don't-
you're big into film.
Dude, I've hung out with enough of them to know that I'm not a hipster because I always offend someone. You know, that's the one thing about me compared to a hipster is like, I
you
will
don't have
offend
that
them.
PC filter.
Yeah, well, I don't like to
You
like.
don't have the vibe, though.
I don't like to
You
like
don't have the
live by this whole like I don't know. It's really hard to say, but like I think some things you can joke about. I think you can't judge people on entirely off what they say, you know, and in terms of like humor and ideas and stuff like that. I think one thing I do notice about this area and like is like everyone is so independent, right? But everyone looks the same. Like you could go out west and like fucking like lads and shit all sketched up in their like Adidas and TNs and stuff. And like people like hipsters and stuff will be like, look at those guys, they're all so uniformed. But here, they're all uniformed. You know what I mean? Like everyone is wearing the same fucking shit. So it's like, I think in a lot of ways, hipsters are like their own enemy in a way. Like, you know what I mean? Like they're not aware of the irony of their own. Yeah, like the irony of their own lifestyle is like to completely conform with everyone in their circle. It's like.
But also, they're just like Newtown's a huge echo chamber,
and Marrickville and fucking like this whole area. And it's
Petersham, it's all the same.
I like it. I think they're cool, like for conversation and stuff. But I just wouldn't fucking want to hang out with. We've all been in the courthouse.
I mean, at the same time, I don't
like. I love the courthouse.
I don't look at someone and go, "Oh yeah, that's a hipster." Like, for me, it's also like the vibe. It's their personality. It's like when you,
dude. If I see like fringe cut, like fucking square glasses, like just like hipster, boom.
Also, let's all take a step back. How have we gotten from Scribe, the dude rolling around in a
Anyways.
Subaru in Christchurch, to the topic of hipsters?
Let's go to our BPM
Marrickville.
rating. Look. Let's go straight to BPM ratings.
Yeah, we outroed it, right? We did that. Yeah. Oh, well, straight to the BPMs?
Yeah, straight to BPM.
Honestly, based off the lyrics, would be a lower score than just like the entire thing sonically. Yeah. I'd say like 330. I don't know if he really touched as much ground as pretty all generic stuff.
I'm gonna use a line that Ben has used a few times.
Yeah,
where he goes, lyrically, it's not so complex, but it doesn't have to be.
Yeah.
That's something I've noticed. Ben notices. About
he's good at the annotation part. He's way better than all of us. Actually, shout out to Ben. He's on in this. I don't think we even mentioned that.
No. Unfortunately, Ben couldn't make the show, but that's all right.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Fair.
But like, I think as a package, it just does it for me.
Yeah.
Like if I'm at a party and I've been drinking a little bit, maybe.
Oh yeah. Like I'd say I don't know what my number was anyway, like 350 or something.
Yeah.
But I'd still say like the song is a tops like 5 out of 5. Like
yeah. As a package.
Yeah.
But
just because like
based on lyrics though, what would you give it?
I'd say like 340 or something. Like, I don't think it was dance. Fair. I liked all like the earthquake reference and stuff like that, but not the worst.
In terms of lyrics, I'd probably go similar to Romano and go maybe like I'm going to give him a bit higher. I'm going to give him 350 just because there were certain lines we couldn't annotate, and that level of mystery, I don't know, makes me more curious as to what the fuck he's on about.
If 3 professionals couldn't work it out.
Professionals, I'm giving the inverted quotation marks right now.
So 350, that's your
350. I have another question for both of you after this, but you give your BPM first.
You know what? I don't do this often, but I'm actually gonna give the same score as you for the lyrics, 350. But I think as a package, as a whole track,
it's aces. It's a classic.
I'm going to say like 450.
Yeah, we're reviewing entirely off lyrics when that discounts like the feel of the track and the style that it's sung in and everything.
Even though I think you guys would agree, some of the songs we've done, like I know when I showed you guys Jid, we've never released that episode. We like you guys all gave it.
Released that?
No, I don't think we did. Yeah, because I don't know for whatever reason, but we guys all gave it a lower score. But then I remember you heard the track and you're like, "That is a sweet song."
Such a good track.
Yeah, it's like it's kind of like you do lose something when you're just going straight. We don't lose it, but I guess. Yeah, you're only looking at one element of it.
Mm.
So what were you going to ask us?
Yeah.
So the regions, North Canterbury, South Canterbury, East Canterbury.
West.
On 3, we're going to say which our favourite is. 3, 2, 1.
East
North Canterbury.
West, dude.
Does he say West Canterbury? I don't think he does.
Yeah, it's the last one, man.
So does he say North, East, West and South?
He goes north, south, east, and west.
Okay.
Let me double check that. Hold on.
Never
he
eat
goes
soggy
north,
Weet-Bix.
south, east, and west.
He went the never eat soggy Weet-Bix route. Yeah.
Good on him. I think. Do we all say different?
No, he went north, south, east, and west. That's
oh yeah, that's gone. Yeah, Nether Eater's gone around the square. Yeah, the circle.
Did we also all give different regions just then?
I went east. Yeah, you guys.
West. Yeah, right on. I said north. So
north was my second choice, but yeah.
Dude, I would never say east, dude.
Why? What's wrong with you?
Because east is by the beach. That's where the fucking yuppies live.
Yeah, man.
Unless you live in Perth, where we lived for fucking all of our lives, and it's near the beach. What about then?
Yeah, but West Canterbury is not near the beach.
actually have no idea.
Christchurch is on the east, like near the east coast of New Zealand.
Oh, okay. Well, you have the most experience in terms of being in Christchurch.
I've been there. I've had my vape robbed there.
Was that in North?
Yeah, that was in North. I'm still giving it a shout out. Shout out to the dudes who stole my vape. I hope you're listening. And if you want to return it, I'm not going to give you my address. Fuck that.
And for any New Zealand listeners out there, if there's any other rappers other than that, what is it? How Bizarre by OMC.
Yeah, I'm sure there's others. There's going to be others.
That's not even really a rap group. But anyway, if there's any other rappers you want to suggest, send it through.
Also, before we end the episode, a little shout out to St. Andrew's Brewing Company.
St. Andrews, you reckon?
Yeah, and Siestro.
I haven't heard
Are we getting
either
something
of
for
these.
this? Or?
I got a few beers from St. Andrews, and I met a lady from Siestro the other day. I was wearing a shirt, and she was like, "We don't get enough so I was like, I'll give you a free shout out." I don't think she knows that I do a fucking rap reviews podcast, but Siestro do really cool things in science. Check them out. Like, they have invented a whole bunch of stuff. They're currently working on coronavirus.
And they're called what, sorry?
CIRSO. It's like basically our science division in Australia.
Okay.
But check it out. Like, honestly, you can...
CSIRO.
Yeah.
You've never heard of the CSIRO before?
No, I'm fucking doing a shout out for it.
He's doing a shout out.
No, but as if anyone hasn't heard of the CSIRO in Australia.
I don't know. He asked me that.
They
Why are you attacking me?
Yeah, why are you attacking Ray?
Sorry. I turned that back on you.
Yeah,
the
turn it to
CSIRO. You've never heard of the CSIRO.
Well, why would I know that?
The leading scientific fucking institution in Australia.
No, see, this is why I'm doing the shout out, because she said that. She did say that. These days, there's not enough public publicity for the institution. And I was like, I'll give you guys a free shout out because I fucking love your work.
I guess I've got vested interest. I am a scientist.
Yeah,
but
you're literally a scientist.
You know how our notes are revolutionary. That Australia invented the polymer covered note. That
was them.
That was CSIRO.
We also helped invent Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
So that's probably how you listen to this fucking show right now. And
so.
Yeah,
fucking big ups to the CSIRO.
Yeah, I think you can donate, or you can at least
shout out to science, bro.
Shout out to science, man.
Can I do another shout out?
Yeah, sure.
To Our Lady Jacinda for winning another term in New Zealand. Seeing as they're doing a New Zealand episode.
How did the weed referendum go? I didn't even work it out.
I think it got passed.
Fuck yes.
Yeah. So big shout outs to New Zealand. We love our neighbours.
Yeah.
As much as you think we give you shit and maybe
you're always our homies. We ride together, we die together.
Absolutely.
Bad boys for life. Yeah. Anyway, that's another episode. Thanks for listening, guys.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Yeah. Ciao, folks.
Bye now.
Bye.